Hey guys, in this video I wanted to talk through an illustration. I love to draw, so I thought it'd be fun to do this intro video to just drawing a simple woman's face from the beginner sketch to inking the drawing and then throwing it into Procreate on my iPad to color. The first step, usually when doing a sketch, I just start with a circle. This is usually how big the face is gonna be, and then I put a line through it just to see two halves of it. I don't know, maybe they'll still make me draw more symmetrically or something. Usually not, but this is just the steps I always take, and usually I try to carve out a chin first or position all the features on the face. So some little circles for eyes, a little circle for a nose, and just start designing its features. I also really like to draw flowers and nature, and I decided to add a rose growing out of the side of her head. It's really useful to have reference photos when doing a drawing, and definitely my drawings turn out better if I was referencing an actual woman's face and an actual rose. But I felt like doodling for my imagination for this one, and pretty much I added all these thorns to create her hair, all the vines from the rose, taking a few creative liberties. I don't really think roses have thorny vines, but I thought it was a cool concept. Any excuse not to draw the second eye, always a bonus. And after I have my first sketch of kind of the idea, I go in with a darker pencil. So I usually start with like an HB and then jump to like a 6B, like one of my darker pencils, and then create the sure lines of the actual figure of the hair and the flower, kind of making a final decision before I'm gonna ink it with a black fine tipped marker. So this is such a fun step because every time we go at it with something else, we refine it a little bit more. I get to ink out all the lines for the thorns in the hair and the rose on the head, and I go at the face a lot more delicately with much thinner lines, just slowly try to shade it into existence. Again, it's a lot easier when I'm referencing something, and this step probably takes the longest out of all the steps because I really like inking and it's just relaxing and you can define it as much as you like. Once I have all the inked lines, I can erase it with my kneadable eraser, and it lightens things up. I always think it looks really cool after I erase the lines. I do see a few mistakes, but I'm not too worried about them because I can always fix it up once we bring it to Procreate. I drew this on such a sunny day. It was perfect. I think that's what gave me the inspiration to open my sketchbook, and I was excited to just sit around and lounge in the sun all day and draw. So the steps that I take to get an inked image into Procreate and have it be available to edit is I take a picture of it with my phone with like good brightness so that it's clear. I edit that image a little bit I make the exposure as high as I can to get it really bright, and then the lines as dark as I can, and then I use an app that I have on my iPad called Medibang Paint. Is this one right there? So I use that app to separate the line work and create a PNG file. So once I put that file into Procreate, I can actually draw right underneath it with separated lines, and then I can select the lines to color those in specifically and just create as many layers as I need. Maybe in the future I'll go further into digital art and how I organize files and stuff like that, because it is part of the process. So once the inking and erasing is all done, I can bring it into Procreate on my iPad and then color everything in. So I pick a nice skin tone for her, and I just create green vines and leaves and a red flower and keep it pretty simple. And I just fill everything in with flat color, and every time we go in, we're adding more and more shading, and then I go in with darker shadows in the crevices where I don't want light to hit, and then I also go in with highlights at the end of a brighter shade of each of these colors where the nice sunlight or something is falling across the form. I think that's a really fun part of it, and that's definitely something that I'm always working on. So the next step is to color in all the line work that we inked. I think this really softens the image, and that you can create a lot of contrast in the line work and the areas of interest and stuff by changing the line color. I like to experiment with that, and I also clean up any new lines or add some colors or highlights anywhere. I decided to frame the face with a brighter green, and I thought this brought a lot of attention right into the face. So I'll try to show more of how I really manipulated the face in Procreate. So I wasn't 100% set on my inked drawing, because in Procreate you can really move all those lines around with the warp tool and different tools like that. You can make it look so different. So a lot of the time I use the mirroring effect, where I flip the canvas horizontally so I can see what it looks like from two different sides. And I didn't really film this, but you can actually push around the features quite a bit, and there's quite a bit that you can get away with. So I kind of had a lot of fun with that. If you guys have a favorite thing that you like to draw, let me know, and maybe it'll inspire me. I love to draw faces and animals and nature, so that's probably what I'm gonna draw next. So I thought it'd be fun to record this drawing. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.